Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat's Tyler Herro reveals honest mindset amid role uncertainty. As the Miami Heat are gearing up to take on the reloaded East, part of their hopeful success relies on the production from guard Tyler Herro. While Herro believes the Heat are title contenders, he has also gone through the steps needed to get himself right for the season, which he speaks upon Monday during the team's media day. Part of the process Herro went through besides his new hairstyle during the offseason was gaining weight to build more muscle and strength, as the 24-year-old said he gained 12 pounds, weighing just over 200 pounds Monday. Other than that, Herro told Clutch Points that the biggest point he's working on is staying healthy. Business as usual, Herro said on his offseason process. Try to continue to get better every single year. You know, getting stronger, continuing to keep my mind right, get my mind right and prepare for this long season. And obviously trying to stay healthy was a big thing for me this season. Being healthy is my biggest thing. Zachary Weinberger asked Tyler Herro about the preparation this summer since SPO spoke highly of it. Talked about how health is huge for him this year after playing just 42 games last season. #Heat culture. While injuries plagued Miami the past few seasons, Herro dealt with major issues last season where he only played 40 games in 2023. It started last November where he missed most of the month due to a grade 2 ankle sprain. As talking about his health, even Heat president Pat Riley bluntly said he was fragile a little bit. Going into this upcoming season, there has been speculation between fans of where Herro should start the season, whether it be as a starter or even coming off the bench. These talks were especially intensified with the acquisition of Terry Rozier before the trade deadline, where the anticipation is that a possible starting lineup includes the two along with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Herro would be open to whatever role the Heat give, as he even implied that the decision will be up to Heat head coach Spoelstra and Riley, who are some of the best at their specific roles in the entire NBA. Whatever they say I am, that's what I am, Herro said. Y'all can say, I'm a starter, I'm off the bench. We're going to let the best coach in the league, Spoelstra, decide. We're going to let one of the best GMs and presidents ever to do this, Riley, decide if I'm starting or coming off the bench. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win a championship. Spoelstra himself would praise Herro for his work during the offseason and even mentioned how the playoff series loss last season against the Boston Celtics dictated his course of action. Tremendously, Spoelstra, when asked how Herro approached the offseason. He felt what it was like. He's going to have help, big-time help this year. You know, with other guys available and healthy and also really prepared for this season, Tyler did everything that I asked him this offseason, everything. I love the work that he put in. He and I were in constant contact when I was overseas. He really worked on the skill work, as he always does. He's so skilled, but he worked on the specificity of what we'll need for this team. He worked on his body in the weight room. It's not a matter of how much weight he added, he looks different, for sure. He did add weight. It's more about the functional strength, Spoelstra continued. And he learned that, firsthand in that series, if you have to do things on both ends of the court, guard the team's best wing player, and then also have the offensive responsibility to make the right plays every single time for your team, and then be able to do it for 38 minutes in the playoff setting, that requires a lot. He did all of it this summer, the weight room, work, conditioning, skill work. Sometimes you have to go through it and have that pain of a loss in a playoff series where it really matters to you to be able to have the experience to break through next year. And I think he's set up for those kind of breakthroughs. Erik Spoelstra admits that seeing Celtics win gave Heat different motivation this offseason. Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra implied that the team was very motivated to improve in the offseason after one of its dreaded rivals, the Boston Celtics, captured the 2024 NBA title. Losing to Boston and seeing them win, that offers a little bit of different motivation in the offseason, Spoelstra said when talking about the long offseason Miami had. I think we were all able to get time away, understand that we're going to have to come together and get to a higher level. That's what happens when a team wins a championship. They force you to raise your level, and that's what we're looking forward to out of our group. One can take a look at the playoff history between the Celtics and Heat in just this decade alone and understand why Boston winning a title motivated Miami. The teams have faced off against each other in the playoffs on 4 occasions since 2020, with Boston and Miami each taking 2 of those head-to-head matchups. Most recently, Boston and Miami battled in the first round of the 2024 NBA playoffs. But the Heat's best player in Jimmy Butler was sidelined for the whole series with an MCL injury, and the Celtics won the series in 5 games. The Celtics won their 18th title in franchise history a few months ago, thanks in large part to their star-studded starting 5. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are 2 of the best players at the wing position in the NBA today. Jrue Holiday and Derek White made for a dynamic two-way backcourt, and Kristaps Porzingis provided elite rim protection and floor spacing. The Heat have plenty of talented players on their roster, but it's hard to argue that Miami can put together a starting lineup that rivals Boston's from a skill standpoint. Another reason why the Celtics winning it all may have been motivating for the Heat is that Miami has come close to winning it all on more than one occasion with Butler on the roster. The Heat made their most recent NBA Finals appearance in 2023, and the team fell to Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in 5 games. A few years earlier, the Heat reached the 2020 NBA Finals, where they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games. Folks will have to wait and see whether the Celtics winning an NBA title will serve as enough motivation for the Heat to capture their 4th title in franchise history in 2025. But it seems as if the team has a lot fueling them ahead of the 2024-25 campaign. Jimmy Butler opens up on Miami Heat not giving him a contract extension. Jimmy Butler's future with the Miami Heat remains uncertain, with the 2 sides having failed to come to terms on a contract extension this offseason. On Media Day, Butler was asked about his thoughts on not getting a deal and stated he plans to let his play show that he is worth holding on to. "I guess I gotta go out there and I gotta hoop," Butler said. "I've gotta prove that I'm a major part of winning, and rightfully so. I've done it before, this is no different. This is going to be a great year for myself. This is going to be a great year for the group of guys that we have. That'll take care of itself whenever the time comes." Butler, who averaged 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 5.0 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game in 2023-24, was then asked if he thought about wanting to be elsewhere at any point this offseason, with the Heat not wanting to offer him a deal. In response, the 35-year-old made it clear he didn't. "Nah, I'm good," Butler stated. "An extension is just a couple of dollars. I'm cool, I'm telling you. I think I've made enough. I just want to play basketball, I want to be available like Pat Riley was talking about, and I plan on being that. I plan on us winning a bunch of games and making everybody happy." It had been reported earlier in the offseason that Butler sought a 2-year extension worth about $113 million from the Heat. The front office wasn't all that keen on giving the 6-time All-Star that deal, though, and I can't be too critical of them for that. Butler has missed a fair bit of time due to injury since joining the Heat in 2019, and his 2023-24 season came to a bit of an early end too. He suffered a right MCL sprain in the play-in tournament against the Philadelphia 76ers and subsequently missed the first-round series against the Boston Celtics, which Miami lost in 5 games. Butler has failed to play in 65 regular season games in any campaign for the Heat, and you don't expect him to get healthier as he ages. Making that big of a financial commitment to him is quite risky, and I understand the Heat wanting to wait a bit. By doing that, though, the Heat risk Butler leaving for free in 2025, as he has a player option worth $52.4 million for 2025 to 26. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.